Now let us see session 2 of Fourier integrals. This session deals with problems based on evaluation of integrals. So problems based on evaluation on integrals, we have to identify the formulas, whether we are going to use Fourier integral representation or Fourier cosine integral or Fourier sine integral. So in this type of problems, there will be two parts. One is the integral part and the other one is the value, that is the function. So from the integral part, if we have both cos omega x and sine omega x, then we can directly use Fourier integral representation. Or if we are having cos omega x part, there is no sine x omega, you can use Fourier cosine integral. Maybe there will be sine pi omega and all. So just see whether we are having sine x omega part. Okay, we don't bother about sine pi omega or sine a omega, etc. If you are having sine x omega and cos x omega, you can use for integral representation. Or if you are having only cos omega x, it is enough to use Fourier cosine integral representation. And the same thing for sine omega x. If you are having sine omega x in the integral part only and there is no cos omega x part, you can use Fourier sine integral representation. Okay, so it will not matter in cos pi omega or cos a omega or sine pi omega and all. Just see whether we are having sine omega x, cos omega x, okay, together, or cos omega x alone or sine omega s alone in the integral part. Okay, so based on these things we will be taking the formula. And what about the function? The value represents the function. So when we take the function, leave the constant part there and take the varying function. So we have the first question. Show that integral 0 to infinity cos x omega plus omega sine x omega d omega divided by 1 plus omega square is equal to 0 if x less than 0, pi by 2 if x equal to 0, and pi into e raised to minus x if x greater than 0. So here we have to evaluate this integral. So which formula are we supposed to take? Is it Fourier integral representation or the Fourier cosine integral or the Fourier sine integral? See how we are going to identify this. Here in the integral part we are having cos x omega and sine x omega, which are both involved in our Fourier integral representation formula. So we can directly use the Fourier integral representation. Okay, and how we are going to choose the function? See, the function is given its value as 0 if x less than 0, pi by 2 if x equals 0, and pi into e raised to minus x if x greater than 0. So we have to take a continuous function. So for x greater than 0, the value is pi e raised to minus x, and for x less than 0, it is 0. So let us take f of x as e raised to minus x for x greater than 0 and 0 for x less than 0. Let us avoid the constant and take only the varying part. Okay, so it is better to leave the constant and take the varying function. So we have taken here f of x is equal to e raised to minus x. Now we can apply our Fourier integral representation formula. Okay, after writing f of x and a of omega and b of omega, the function here is e raised to minus x. So we are in the place of f of b, we are giving e raised to minus v cos omega v dv. Then using the integral formula, you can do the integration. So here While doing a of omega, we will get the answer 1 by pi into 1 divided by 1 plus omega square. And in the b of omega, after doing the integration, we will get the value 1 by pi into omega divided by 1 plus omega square. Both this value we have to substitute in equation number 1. Okay, which gives us f of x is equal to 1 by pi integral 0 to infinity cos omega x plus omega sine omega x divided by 1 plus omega square into d omega. Okay, now taking the integral part alone, we can multiply pi with f of x, that is pi into f of x. So here we have taken f of x as e raised to minus x if x greater than 0 and 0 if x less than 0. That is pi e raised to minus x if x greater than 0 and 0 if x less than 0. Now we have to find out the value at x equals 0. That is 1 by 2 into f of x plus f of x minus. That is 1 by 2 into for f of x plus, that is for x greater than 0, the value is pi into e raised to minus x, and for up to 0 the value is 0. So we have substituted here and the final answer we will get as pi by 2. So hence we have proved integral 0 to infinity cos omega x plus omega sine omega x divided by 1 plus omega square d omega is equal to 0 if x less than 0, pi by 2 if x equal to 0, and pi into e raised to minus x if x greater than 0. Coming to the second question, show that integral 0 to infinity 1 minus cos pi omega divided by omega into sine x omega d omega is equal to 1 by 2 into pi if 0 less than x less than pi and 0 if x greater than pi. So here we are having sine x omega in the integral part. We don't have cos x omega, so no need to use for integral representation. Okay, we are only having sine x omega, so we can directly use Fourier sine integral formula. Okay, and the f of x we take here is 1 because it is pi by 2 for 0 less than x less than pi. So as I said earlier, it is better to leave the constant part there and take the varying function. So as here there is no varying function, let us take 1. Okay, so f of x is equal to 1 if 0 less than x less than pi and 0 if x greater than pi. And by taking Fourier sine integral, by giving the value of f of e as 1 in b of omega, we can do the problem. So after taking Fourier sine integral, we will get the value 2 by pi into 1 minus cos omega pi divided by omega. This value we can substitute in equation 1, in which f of x becomes integral 0 to infinity 2 by pi into 1 minus cos omega pi the whole divided by omega into sine x omega d omega. Now we can take the integral alone. So pi by 2 into f of x means pi by 2 into the f of x we have taken is 1 if 0 less than x less than pi and 0 if x greater than pi. So pi by 2 into 1 gives pi by 2 if 0 less than x less than pi and 0 if x greater than pi. Hence we have evaluated the integral. Now our next question, using Fourier integral, prove that e raised to minus x cos x is equal to 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity omega square plus 2 into cos omega x divided by omega square plus 4 d omega. Okay, so here also in the integral part we are having cos omega x. So let us take Fourier cosine integral. And what about the function we are going to take here? The function should be e raised to minus x cos x for x greater than 0. Now f of x is equal to integral 0 to infinity a of omega cos x omega d omega, where a of omega is equal to 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity f of v cos omega v dv. Now instead of f of v, we are going to take e raised to minus v cos v. Okay, so it is 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus v cos omega v dv, which is of the form 2 cos a cos b. Okay, so we can substitute cos a plus b plus cos a minus b. So for a we are having v, and for b we are having omega v. That is 1 by pi integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus v into cos v plus omega v plus cos v minus omega v the whole into dv. Now you can integrate this, taking e raised to minus v with cos v plus omega v plus e raised to minus v cos 1 minus omega the whole into v. Okay, you can integrate this using the integral formula e raised to x cos bx. Okay, so after taking the integrals, you can give the limit. The limits are 0 to infinity. So for infinity, the upper limit part, you will get the value as 0. Then we are having only the lower limit part. So the a of omega you will get 2 by pi omega square plus 2 divided by omega raised to 4 plus 4 by the further calculation, and then substitute a of omega in f of x. That is, f of x is equal to integral 0 to infinity 2 by pi omega square plus 2 divided by omega raised to 4 plus 4 cos omega x d omega. Now substitute f of x here, that is e raised to minus s cos x. Take the 2 by pi outside, and this is what we have to prove. E raised to minus x cos x is equal to 2 by pi integral 0 to infinity omega square plus 2 into cos omega x divided by omega raised to 4 plus 4 into d omega. Hence we have evaluated. Here are some problems for you. In the first problem, we are having integral 0 to infinity sine pi omega into sine x omega divided by 1 minus omega square. So here we are having the presence of sine x omega. So it is better to use Fourier sine integral representation. And what about the function? The function should be sine x. Leave the constant part. So take sine x for 0 less than x less than pi. Second, we are having the presence of cos x omega. So it is better to take the Fourier cosine integral. And the function will be cos x. Third one, here also we are having the presence of sine x omega. So we have to take Fourier sine integral representation. Function is x for 0 less than x less than 1 and 0 if x greater than 1. Then this pi by 4 if x equal to 1, you have to find it separately. The formula is 1 by 2 into f of x plus f of x minus. So in the positive side, the value is x, and in the negative side, the value is 0. So you will get pi by 4 there. In the fourth one also, we are having sine x omega in the integral. So we have to use Fourier sine integral representation. Thank you.